I'm John Hawkins, and we're back with the third segment of the M100. You saw the earlier version. We did a little teaser with you last Wednesday showing lifting the Inglewood 1075 with some counterweights, and we just did the lift with the multiple units. A lot of work goes into this machine to take what we've done and take the needs that our customers have told about. And one of the things that we're going to talk about here in a minute is storage, because that was the critical thing over the fact of performance and being able to travel with the load that was our challenge. And those were our three number one things. So one of the things, as I mentioned earlier, was the storage and enhancing the storage. So everything that we did with this toolbox, whether it was height, accessibility because of the toolbox being height, or the fact that we were minimized because the travel base is so wide with the depth of the toolboxes, we brought everything out as far as we could to interface with the inside part of the toolbox. So in this one compartment here, we got the high pressure cushions, our ladder quick right out of the door to access, and up on top is the inverter. We're going right back up in here. We've got multiple chains, as you're seeing right here, with multiple area for additional chains that will be done by the customer, as well as our storage for our shovels and pry bars and things that are needed. You'll see the sledgehammers over on the other side. And one of the unique features that we've got right in here is using that Outrigger and putting the steps in there, building access on both sides of the unit to be able to climb up to get up onto the deck, access the winches, the cables, or whatever. And remember that we do have two storage bins up there to carry your hardwood. So this gives you that ability to slide that travel base to be able to access those 4x6s in your cribbing and get to them real easy. Now, we talked a little bit about being able to get up to everything. So each unit has the ability of taking this one step that is right below it is where we keep our cribbing, and that allows you to get up in here and to get your chains. So that's one of the things that we wanted to make sure is you had that means of getting in there and getting the tools necessary because of the boxes being as tall as they are and utilizing all the space. A little stainless steel bracket in here, our warning lights. This protects the chains from the inner part of the door. Now in the next box behind the ladder, we've got another tall box to hold the 5/8, your 1/2-inch chains, as well as your 3/8 or your 5/16. But the other nice part about this is this gives us a visual access of the drag winches. Unlike the M100 number one, we only ran a single 30,000-pound drag. On this unit here for the Insanas, they wanted dual 30. So both sides in this compartment, rearward of the ladder, you have the visual of that drag winch and the cable going on it for inspection, as well as servicing the winch. So the next two compartments are over the triaxle configuration, and they open up and go up overhead. And if the unit's up on the jacks is up real high, you've got this handle in order to be able to grab it to lower it down. So just one of those user-friendly things that we're doing. You're noticing the tip charts that we have for both off the rear and to the side of the unit, and in the various positions for which we have that recovery boom traveling. We have 147 inches of actual travel on this mast as it goes back and forth on the subframe on its 8 rollers. So the ratings do vary as to where the positioning is onto the back or what location it is. So that gives you this information whether forward, mid-range, or all the way to the rear. Very simply, this will lift up out of its track, and now you have clean accessibility to all of your electrical features. Everything is very well documented onto the transmitters, the receivers for the Raptor control, and what you're going to see with the new 3100 series Omninex controller that we've done with the load screen mounted on it, as well as your toolbox lighting, all of your wires, junction boxes, and our unique strobe system. One thing I really want to point out is all of these boxes are very well lit on the inside, but we've taken that feature with our new IP68 lights, and we've mounted those lights literally on the back side of the body, up underneath the wheel wells, underneath the tailboard, underneath the bumper, up on your ladder that's climbing up to the vehicle. So you have some 50 LED strips that are lighting this body, so at nighttime you have a very good visual. Now in the next compartment back, and one of the nice features about a door opening up like this, which on some of our competition, they do that with the control station. We don't like that. But it does give you kind of a little bit of shelter from the storm, the rain, snow, if it's out here. We've got the Sonotech headsets here, just mounted very much similar to Mr. Petrov's unit, being powered up, so the whole unit comes right in here. And then on Mr. Insana's unit right here, we've got a ProTech toolbox that's being built. So whether working the unit from the driver's side or passenger side rear control station, we always like to have our doors come down. And that way you've got a good visual to that recovery boom no matter where it's traveled on the travel track on the system, and you got visual of the shiv heads and everything. You don't have everything over your head blocking it. For additional storage, we've got the compartment up over this that you've got the inverter, and there's power. There's 3 sources for 110 power. If you want to use this for your tool bags, for your Makita, your Ryobi, whatever type of Sawzall, your drill, it's all available for you to store your tools right up in here, and whether hand tools or power tools. You've got the Raptor controls, you've got the controls over on the driver's side, you have your screen with all your information boards accessible, and of course the major thing right here is your emergency kill switch should there be fault of the unit for whatever cause. So we've put a lot of features up here on this tailboard. Let's go over some of them. One of the features that we have is multiple position on your D-rings. So you can carry as many as 4 D-rings on this tailboard during a recovery process. Very simple with the removable pins that we have to move them in one of the 4 positions that you see here on the tailboard. This also holds the truck hitch, and we'll show you that. You've already seen the video that you had of the M100 towing, and it does tow. We have the unique feature here for the first time doing the dual 30,000 pound DP drag winches. So we have the 2 65K DP winches up top, the 2 turret winches on the side of the mast at 30K, as well as the dual drags at 30K. So the other things that we have is easy access to your air. You want to put air to the vehicle, trailer, the vehicle that you're towing, whatever, able to do that, your backup lights, and of course we also have your rear cameras nice and low so that you can see what's going on as you're going down the road and driving it. And a nice compartment here that we've done in between the toolboxes to do what you want to do. In this case right here, we're doing the flat straps, both in 8 and 10 inches. We have 12-inch straps in the kit here that we offer also that the boys put together on this machine. Let's talk about the Outriggers, and we have an excellent view from the rear of the vehicle, being able to see the dual H-beam and the rear version of it right here. And remember, one of the things I talked about was the fact that we lost depth in the toolboxes from some 20 to 9 inches. Main reason is because the vertical towers of the Outriggers on the M100 have moved all the way to the outboard side. And you can see that right here with both of the pins. This gives us that increased reach in the Outriggers from the 260 plus inches out to the 300 inches of the M100, which is some 20 inches more than what we have on the current dual H beams in the 1150s, the 1140s, and the 1075s. Thus, one of the critical points as far as the increased power range on it. Still have the means of several tiebacks, D-rings, tieback loop on the outside, as well as your spade. So if you're looking at that winching without extending those Outrigger legs, being able to bury the rear spades into the ground and do a pull directly off the tailboard. So the passenger side control stations, they're just identical to what you saw on the driver's side. You have your outdoor Raptor control station right here. Your joysticks, your screen, and again we're utilizing that space up here for storage for your hand tools, whatever you want to do here. And the point of this is we can go ahead and close this, and you've got good visual, as we mentioned, to the whole operation of the recovery boom. So similar to the driver's side, over here in the passenger side we've got the 2 horizontal doors over the triaxle, and on this side we've decided to put the full tray that is adjustable. Again, very much similar to our regular bodies, having that adjustment. And we've loaded this whole side of the box as well as that rear tailboard with their endless loop straps and your flat straps. And as you see right here, we have the Omnex 3100 series, which Billy had talked earlier about in the 1150 demo. This really downsizes the actual controller itself, but still gives you the screen to be able to get that lift, your load factors, and the information necessary that you had in the Raptor also. Now getting back into the larger compartments, and we'll talk a little bit about this over on the passenger side and the difference of the drivers. We still have the original 30,000 pound DP winch that's here that was on Mr. Petrov's unit. So this gives driver side and passenger side here that we're seeing on this version of the second M100. Again, the inspections, you've got the added chain rack that we put over on this side. We've got our 3/8 chains as well as the eliminator bridles, both in 3/8 and 1/2 inch being stored here. And we have the sledgehammer storage here being down there, similar to what you saw in the shovels. We come back here one more compartment and we're back into the step configuration that you saw again. So that's the driver's side and passenger side where you can access and climb up to the unit to be able to inspect the unit, look at whatever you want to do. Very easy egress and return. Multiple snatch blocks are on this unit. As a matter of fact, we're going to show you a closing shot of the truck hitch being stored up here by the hydraulic tank, as well as the two 25-ton blocks that we've added to this block kit here. So we have the 15-ton Crosby blocks. We've also have the McKissick with the dual shivs. We've also gone down to the 8-ton units for the 30,000-pound winches over here. So about 12 different blocks are being stored up in here, as well as your adjustable shelves. And again, we've got the step and the ability to have your storage at each one of your Outrigger locations for your pads. So in this kit, you get a 24 by 30 inch pad for the Outrigger. And our last storage compartment over here, we really worked hard because the client in this particular case wanted a multiple of screw pin shackles. So we have some 6 25 tons, we've got some 8 17 tonners, we've got some 8 12 tonners, we've got some 10 8.5 tonners, and we have 2 different sizes of master links that you see right in here, and all in one compartment. And everything with the storage on there so it stays, you know, tight, doesn't rattle around, easily accessible, allows you to see that when the job's done, you've got each one of your screw pin shackles back in the storage rack where it belongs. Warning lights, the flashing lights, you know, the whole body was geared around what we offer, taking all of your LED lights and making them a flashing pattern so that when you're on the side of road working, you know, your marker lights as well as your turn signals all are working right along with your M6s and your Whelen 72-inch Freedom bars that are on the unit. There's a couple specifications. Let's talk about the recovery boom, because we haven't really gone into that in full length. Let's remember this boom elevates a full 60 degrees. We have some 340 inches of hydraulic stroke in that very unique cylinder that we've briefly talked about. These are 2 massive cylinders that are timed together by a cable mechanism that just keeps that second and third stage traveling together, which has always been a feature of the Miller booms in the past on all the 3-stage. But in this time, we don't have the 1 cylinder in there and the cables doing the horsepower. We have the 2 cylinders in there and the cylinders doing the horsepower. Therefore, what you saw being able to extend some 90,000 plus pounds under load is something that's never been achieved with a piece of equipment. The travel base, some 147 inches that this unique design travel base all up on the 8 rollers is able to go back and forth. You have to come back about 30 some odd inches in order to clear that, so you don't have to worry about your elevation cylinders getting into the front of your toolboxes, and that's just a safety feature on there. But if you want to travel it, it went forward all the way with the boom in that 0 or off to 10 degrees either side, you're capable of doing that. Being able to run the boom up and down, in and out, and the cables all the way forward if necessary. The turret base, instead of running that 1 planetary up inside there, we run the dual. This gives a tremendous amount of power to be able to rotate that recovery boom. That hook height, that's very, very critical. We talk about 54 feet of hook height, and that is from the girth of the hook, not from the top of the shiv wheel where some of our competitors measure their recovery booms. But that's from the working part of the hook down to the ground. And you know, 54 feet, you can imagine what this recovery boom can do when it's off to the side and working at 0 or 4 or 5 or 10 degrees and being able to get inside a tractor trailer or into a warehouse to bring something into that point if that was the means in which you had to do the recovery for that particular job, not alone working off of the tailboard. If you're looking at an M100, you know, we welcome any question that you might have. Feel free to call us. We have a phenomenal rep force and one of the largest and best distribution network in all the world. So it's been fun working with you on the M100. So there's more to come. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Subscribe to our news feed, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the road. Be safe.
Miller Industries, the world leader in towing and recovery equipment.
This video is for product demonstration purposes only and is not intended for training or instructional purposes. Situations vary, and operators should rely on their own professional knowledge and safety procedures when conducting actual recoveries.